Russia will host the next FIFA World Cup in 12 stadiums across 11 cities. Moscow, St. Petersburg, Kazan, and Sochi will also host matches for the Confederations Cup starting this weekend, set to last 2 weeks and include various regional champions. But Human Rights Watch states that some workers building venues have been left unpaid, made to work in dangerously cold conditions, or have been punished for complaints.
One of our big concerns about this World Cup and its preparations is the atmosphere of control and secrecy and intimidation that we've seen on these sites. So workers consistently told Human Rights Watch that they were afraid to speak out about what was happening to them out of fear of retaliation from their employers, fear of being fired without getting their wages paid, fear of being deported if they're a migrant worker.
In May, Deputy Prime Minister Vitaly Mutko asserted that construction at the stadium in St. Petersburg was in compliance with FIFA requirements and that workers' rights were not being violated. FIFA announced a monitoring system in 2016 for labor conditions at Russia's sites and says the system has helped to improve labor standards.
So FIFA has undertaken, for the first time ever, an inspection program to look at labor conditions on World Cup stadium sites. So this is an important first step. But what they haven't shown is what they've actually accomplished with those investigations. We only know very little about the technical aspects, sort of how frequent the inspections are, where they've gone. We don't know what kinds of violations they found, what specific steps they've taken to correct them, what actual compensation has gone to any workers that have faced abuse. So in order for their investigations and inspections to be credible, they really need to publicize and be transparent about what they're actually finding and what the outcomes are.
Human Rights Watch reports that there have already been 17 deaths because FIFA and the Russian government aren't doing enough within the system.
There have been 17 deaths on World Cup sites since construction began. And this is really troubling. Obviously, workers deserve proper protection, and for an event of this scale and this prestige, FIFA and the Russian government really should be doing their utmost to prevent these kinds of accidents.
Russia is not the only country where World Cup construction has proceeded with disregard for human rights. Qatar was reported to be exploiting laborers for the 2022 World Cup. Migrant workers constructing the Khalifa International Stadium in Doha are working under slavery conditions with no pay, an unsafe work environment, and unclean, overcrowded living quarters.